So what is the best bag to put your figure skates in?
Hi, this is Ava from the future, and I just watched back every single one of those clips and I realized that my microphone never connected to my phone. I'm sad, so I apologize for the audio quality.
Hi, my name is Ava. You might know me as Journey Back to the Ice here on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And in today's video, I wanted to answer some questions I've been seeing a lot across all of my social media platforms. And that is, what is the best bag to put my figure skates in? Since it is back to school time, and traditionally this is the time of year that a lot of Learn to Skate programs start up again, because some might take a break in the summer, some might only offer higher level classes in the summer. But if you are starting to skate again this fall, this winter, or if you are looking for a new skate bag, keep watching, because I wanted to talk about all of the options that you can purchase online or at a local skate shop, or even find on places like eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and kind of talk about what might be the best option for you. I want to start off by talking about why it's important to have a bag, whether that's just a small tote bag like a TJ Maxx bag or a suitcase to bring your skates to and from the rink. And the main reason is just to make sure that your skates are safe and that they don't get damaged or scuffed in transit. This can also make things super easy, like rather than carrying them in your hands into the rink, or I know a lot of skaters when they first get their skates transport them in the box, and honestly I think it's just easier to throw them in a bag because then you don't have to worry about carrying a big box around the rink. Another reason why a lot of skaters like to have suitcases or Zuca bags is because they're going to bring things like a jump rope, a foam roller, a whole bunch of other stuff. Maybe you have a change of clothes before school that you want to bring, and that's why it's just so much easier to have a bag. You can have everything prepped and ready to go for your lessons, your classes, your skate sessions, all in your bag. If you are doing Learn to Skate lessons and this is your very first time skating, you don't know if this is really something you want to stick with, you don't know if this is something you'll be doing long term, and you really just need a bag that can get to and from the rink and have all of the items you need, I would say the best option is to literally get one of those TJ Maxx bags, because they're pretty big and they're like $1.99. I don't think they're any more than $4. I would just recommend a nice size tote bag that you can throw everything you need in there, like your wallet, your keys, things you probably don't want to have in your pockets while you're out skating, but you want to make sure are protected and in a safer area. The only type of bag that I would generally avoid is anything that's like macrame, just because your skates aren't really going to be protected from the outside weather. Like let's say it's raining, it's snowing, you don't really want your skates to get wet and you don't want them to feel soggy when you put them on. So I would just make sure that whatever bag you choose is an enclosed bag.
Now let's talk about some of the more traditionally used skate bags that you will see around the rink.
So starting off a little bit cheaper, and probably one of the more base tier models that you're going to see a lot, is these triangular shaped backpacks or like saddlebag type style bags. They range anywhere, let's say from like $15 to $45 or $50. These are good if you want a bag that is just primarily going to hold your skates, your hard guards, your skate towel, and your soakers. Like nothing extra, probably not a change of clothes. Some of them are big enough where you probably could throw a change of clothes in them. I highly recommend finding one that has a small mesh ventilation, because I can tell you that figure skates get very stinky. I think these bags are great if you want a true skate bag. You just want to throw your skates in there. You don't really have a lot of other accessories or items that you want to put into your bag. Like something really easy to bring around that isn't a giant like suitcase type bag. I think this is a great option. Kind of going along with this, the next item that a lot of skaters have is that, I'll throw them up on screen, but is the Edea, the black and pink like kind of tote bags. They're not really the triangular shaped bags. Edea does actually have the triangle shaped bags, but these are more like fancy tote bags, and I believe you can get them anywhere from $80 to $100. The Edea one looks like it has a weatherproof exterior. It also has the ventilation pieces to it, which I really like. It has a lot of zipper pouches, and it looks like it's just got a cute keychain. Like honestly, it's selling me on the cuteness factor. I would say the Edea bag is a style where if you want to put a couple of items for off ice in it, you want to put a change of clothes, anything like that, I think this is great. I guess the next step up from the triangle and the Edea bags is just a regular gym bag. I'll insert here for my coaching skates, I have an old Vera Bradley duffel bag, and it's perfect. I can throw in, like, I have a couple extra test papers in there. I have pens, I have places to put hair clips, water bottle, my skates, like anything I need, maybe a change of clothes, I can throw it in there and it fits really well. If you don't want to have to carry a whole whole bunch of stuff, maybe these bags aren't for you, but if you don't mind carrying like a gym bag worth of your things, I think that is a great option. Now, before I move on to things like a Zuca bag and a suitcase, I wanted to talk about the Rink Rabbit backpack. I use this all the time. I bring this with me when I travel to competitions. I bring this with me when I go to local competitions. Like, this is my holy grail extra piece on top of the suitcase that I have. I love the Rink Rabbit backpack. It fits your skates and it has so many pockets for extra things, so you can put gloves, hair pieces, socks, anything you need. Like this, if you want a backpack style bag, but you want something that's going to carry your water bottle, all of your off-ice stuff, a place for your laptop. What I really like when I travel out of state for competitions is the fact that this is a great carry-on bag, mostly because it has a spot where I can fit both my laptop and my iPad in the back, and I can still wear it as a backpack. Now, obviously for me, because I have back issues, I don't really use this as a true backpack, but it does have the thing where you can slide it on top of your suitcase or your Zuca bag, like whatever you need. And I love that. I push it through the airport. It's really simple.
If you travel a lot for competitions or like to bring things with you to the rink, I highly recommend this bag. I bring it with me to every single competition. It has made my life so much easier. If you are interested, I do have a code with Rink Rabbit. It's Journey Back to the Ice 10, where you can save 10% off your order, and they have a lot of other great products on their website.
So the next bag that I want to talk about is one that everyone asks about, and mostly because people ask, is it worth the price? And that is the Zuca bag. I feel like Zuca bags were really popular back in like the early 2000s, and then they had a resurgence between like 2010 to 2013, 2014. I don't know if this is true at everyone else. I do see it in my comments a lot. A lot of people are saying it's coming back, and I fully agree, is that I am seeing Zuca bags making a comeback. But if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I have a Zuca bag. Well, technically I used to have a Zuca bag, and now I have a suitcase. Honestly, as an adult figure skater with back problems that needs to go from rink to rink to rink most mornings, I do prefer the suitcase just for ease of transport for myself. But I want to talk about when I had the Zuca bag and why I think that is an excellent investment. So let's get right into talking about the Zuca bag. The main thing is that yes, Zuca bags are very expensive. I've done a little bit of research, and looking at it now, depending on the type of Zuca bag you have, for the metal frame and the insert, which is the bag. Like, if you don't buy the insert, you don't have anything to transport your skates in. There's literally just a metal frame. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. I think it's meant to be more mix and match. The combination of the metal frame and the insert, you're looking at about like $200 to $265 is what I've seen some of them go for, which yes, that's a lot for a bag. So the three main pieces to the Zuca bag are the metal frame, the insert, and the top cushion. And here's why I recommend getting the top cushion, is because at a lot of competitions and rinks, sometimes there isn't places to sit down. There isn't really a locker room accessible. Or like, if I think back to National Showcase 2025 in Rochester, Michigan, obviously all of their locker rooms were occupied by the theater on ice teams and the larger ensemble groups. So there wasn't really a place for a lot of us to sit, and the lobby had very limited seating. And when I say limited seating, I mean almost non-existent. Finding a place to sit there was actually chaotic, and finding a place to be able to put your skates on was also a little bit chaotic, because sometimes the ready rooms weren't fully available for like all of the events that were going on at once. So this is when it's kind of nice to have a Zuca bag, where it's literally a bag and you can sit on top of it. Like, I'll insert some clips when I had a Zuca bag, or just pictures I find on the internet of like skaters sitting on the Zuca bag. They're very customizable, so you can get light up wheels, you can get basic wheel, you can get basically any primary color frame. On top of that, you can always mix and match the inserts that you have, and when your insert breaks, you can always take it out and then you can get a new one. They have a lot of really fun prints. So I think that's the selling point for me, is that it's just very customizable and you can make it your own. You don't really have to conform to like kind of gray, black, any like basic color. The other thing I like about the Zuca bags is that there are a lot of pockets. So like I said, like your skates fit in there very easily. You can put your butt pads in there, you can put a change of clothes in there, and there's a lot of pockets. So similar to the Rink Rabbit bag or to some of the duffel bag options that you can get, like you can put a lot in there. You can put makeup, change of laces, you can put your CDs if you're me. It's weatherproof, so like obviously if it rains, if it snows, your skates are pretty good inside. You can fit a change of clothes. So yes, is a Zuca bag really expensive? Yes. Do you need to get all of the matching accessories for it? No. If you want a lunchbox or anything, like you can. I would say if you're a skater or a parent watching this and you're wondering if it's worth the money, I 100% think it's worth the money. All of my students that have Zuca bags absolutely love it. They can bring it with them to competitions and they can set up their own space without having to worry about a place to sit, where for someone like me who has a suitcase, it's a little bit harder to find a place to sit at some competitions. If I've sold you on the amazingness of a Zuca bag, I'm glad, because I really do recommend it. And the last one I wanted to talk about in this video is the suitcase. I feel like like I said earlier, but like 2014, 2015, all the way through like a little bit post-COVID, the Suitcase was like the it thing and every skater had it. The Suitcase was really trendy, and now I feel like the Suitcase is not as trendy, but I wanted to talk about as someone that has had like all of these duffel bags all the way through a Suitcase, why I prefer the Suitcase over the Zuca bag for myself. You definitely don't have to spend hundreds of dollars. I honestly went into TJ Maxx one night and I was like, I would like a Suitcase. I can fit my skates in there. I can put the hard guards on. I can put the soakers in there. I can put anything I need. I usually pack even some change of clothes in that bag just to like utilize all the space that I have. But the other thing that I like is that my foam roller fits in there, my jump rope fits in there, my extra gloves fit in there. The other thing that I really like is that I can put my costumes in there. So I think I've been able to fit up to 3 or 4 dresses packed in some jackets in there, and I can also put a garment bag. Obviously nothing in the garment bag, but I can fold up one of my garment bags and slip it in there as well, so that's a really good option. I would say if you're debating between a Suitcase and a Zuca bag, depending on the Suitcase you get, the Zuca bag metal frame is very heavy, and that is one of the reasons why I don't really opt for the Zuca bag as much now that I have like the degenerative disc disease and the bulging disc. For me, the Zuca bag metal frame mixed with everything else I have to put in there is just very heavy, or it can get really heavy, where the Suitcase for me is not as heavy. It's easier to transport. It's enclosed, and so I don't really have to worry about my skates or my costumes or anything that I've packed inside. Really, the Zuca bag only fits your skates and then some accessories, so that's where I feel like the Suitcase is the better deal, because you can fit so much more in there, and then you can have the little piece that like extends open a little bit. I know some airlines don't allow you to fly with the extender, so I would say if you're going to pick out a Suitcase, make sure like bring your figure skates with you, honestly, to like TJ Maxx or the luggage store, and just see if everything like those pieces fit without opening the extender. If you are someone that's going to be flying to a competition, really easy to pack into the car, it's really easy to transport. So I guess the thing is like the Zuca bag wins if you want a place to sit, but for me, the Suitcase wins because it's just super easy to travel with. But yeah, that's basically it for figure skating bags. Like honestly, you can't really go wrong, and every type of bag I think works better depending on what you're looking for. You really don't have to pay a lot of money to have a figure skating bag. I hope this video helped you find what type of bag that you think would be best for you, or just kind of go through a pros and cons list of your own to figure out which bag is going to work best for your needs. Anyways, I will see you in the next video.